Hi again. In this video we're gonna find the knocking injector of my Ford Transit and we're gonna install a new injector. We are gonna test the old injector with this injector tester tool. I'm also gonna try to explain to you how a common rail injection system works, because this is a common rail diesel and that is not. That's a conventional injection diesel. And if you get the injector job done, then we are also gonna try this TMU fault code reader and try to delete the fault codes that will appear since we are going to mess around with this car. I think this is gonna be really interesting. Welcome to the video. So this is a Ford Transit MK7 built in 07 with a 2.2 turbo diesel intercooler engine. Last year I made really many videos about this car because I had a problem with the engine not running. And you can find those videos on a playlist on my YouTube channel. So the last year's problem, it was about the suction relief valve, the pressure relief valve and the rail sensor. And I had my ECU computer sent off for testing, but it turned out to not be faulty. Then I also tried to eliminate the possibility to have an air leak somewhere in the fuel lines. So I did go through everything. But after many hours of troubleshooting and sleepless nights and many YouTube videos, then I got the car running properly. But ever since that I have been hearing a knocking sound from the engine. And the knocking sound appears only when you are driving and accelerating and speeding up. So at idle you can't hear anything. But of course the knocking sound has gotten worse and worse ever since that. And now it has came up to that point that I can't drive with this car anymore. I'm afraid that I will destroy the engine. But yeah guys, back to the main topic of this video, the faulty injector that knocks. I will just show you here quick how it works. This high pressure fuel injection pump that gives around 200 bars or 3000 psi fuel pressure to the fuel injector, and it creates a mist of fuel into the cylinder that eventually explodes, and the exhaust goes out and it pushes down the piston and makes the crankshaft spin. And the crankshaft go to the gearbox and then from the gearbox to the car wheels. So this is basically what the engine does. Okay, now to the issue here. So as I said, I have a knocking cylinder or knocking injector in this car. And what happens when a injector goes bad? A common rail injector, it can leak both internally and externally. If it's internal leakage, then the fuel pressure wants to go out, and it goes out through the return line and back to the tank. And that's not good, because then the rail pressure will decrease. And if you have a external leak, as we think in this case, then we have the nozzle here leaking all the time a little. It can drip or it can have a small pee also. So in my case, I think there is an injector that drips or pees a little, and that creates that knocking sound. And that's not good, because if you have a leaking injector, it will destroy the piston eventually. So they have said that the transit pistons, they can crack and then your engine is ruined. Then you have to open it up and start swapping out pistons. So let's remove the air filter housing. I think I have done this 1,000 times. Like that. We're just gonna rip off this thing. Oh, I better take off this before. So just cover and then this. Okay, so last winter I have all the 4 injectors tested, and I have the testing results in paper form. But yeah, I had to buy 2 new injectors. So these 2 are new and these 2 are old. So now it's up to me to find out which one of these 2 are bad. So I will do it in a funny way. So I have this pipe that I can put against an injector, and then I will put my ear against it, just here for excess sound. So this is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna put this wood piece here in between, so it will push the throttle pedal a little, and then I'm gonna stand there and try to hear if I hear something. Well guys, I think it is the third. I think I will remove that and try with a new one. Denso common rail injector. This is from Latvia. This was just 220 euros, or yeah. So I saved $100 by ordering from Latvia. TDCI 105800. Kom lös då. So here you can see this is the fuel rail. So the same fuel flow and pressure comes from this line, and it's divided to 4. Okay. Up. Up. some crap on the tip here. Look at that. It might be this. And then we're just gonna try to rinse that hole. There were not any sign about that copper washer leaking, so I think the seat is quite even. Oh, okay, there's that. Okay, look. I think through there. How are we now? That's not looking bad. So let's compare the new to the old. It's nice when they have the copper washer coming with it. Then you wanna read that code, and so you can write that in the computer later on. Just quickly gonna look down that hole. Yeah, we are looking great. Copper washer. Here I have a new bolt. So they recommend that you just use the bolt once because it's stretching it really much. So old compared to the new, yeah. And these bolts, they are gonna be tightened with 6 Newton meters and 180 degrees, or some say a full lap or full turn. Six newtons. Now we did reach the bottom, and now 6 Newton meters. That's 6. And then half a turn. Little more than a half turn. Maybe a little more, yeah. Okay, so this is the return line, and as I said in the beginning, this is not going to the filter anymore. It's going right into the tank. It's not taking air bubbles into the pump. Okay, everything is installed right now, but I haven't tightened down that yet because I'm gonna crank the engine and hopefully get out a little air from there, and then I will tighten it. Well guys, everything is installed, and now I'm going to go for a drive, and I have seen so much disappointment in my life, so I will just keep my fingers crossed here, and I'm not sure. We will see if the knock is away or if it's still there. Here goes nothing. Seems that I have chainsaw oil on my front window. I don't know how. But now it's time to try the Timu fault code reader and see what's what. I feel sorry for this guy. I'm always destroying his internet. The line is coming from right there. Okay, but now I will try this OBD2 reader. Max OBD app. This thing. And then connecting devices. Okay, it's actually working. 800 RPMs right now, engine coolant 66, fuel rail pressure kilopascal. Let's try to throttle up a little. Yeah. I didn't think that this is gonna work at all, but apparently it is. Trouble codes. The vehicle has no fault codes. Huh? Well guys, I think I have to dig into this app a little before I can say anything, but I think I paid 12 euros for it, so I don't know if I can use it to anything, but at least I can see some things here. Okay, now I have clamped down the tester onto the table and the injector is tightened down to it, and then I have a 12 volt battery, old one, but there's still enough juice, so the spool valve will open when I give it like that. Oh, and with that capped off, we can try the internal leakage. So we just pump up here 3000 psi, and now we will see 4000 psi. Soon that will pop because of the internal leakage. Now it did pop. Well, even a new injector has a small leakage, but when they are old like this, they're gonna leak very much. So up to 4000 psi, we do not see any drop. Okay. I don't know if you saw that, but that's a pretty pissy spray right there. Okay. Again. I also noticed that while I was giving it 12 volt like that, then it popped out from there also. So there is excess internal leakage. And what we saw here now, it's the pissy shower spray that we get here that gives the knock. Because you want to have a really fine misty spray if this is gonna work. So the conventional injectors, they open where they have set them, so around 200 bars or 3000 psi. But this, as I have tried to explain many times already, the common rail injector opens just by command from the computer. but when speeding up the engine and pushing it really hard, then it might get to 1000 or 1500 bars. So that's really much in PSI, maybe 15,000 PSI. So what are the difference between the injection systems on these two cars? While this has a common rail injection system, this has a conventional system, but this also has an electric controlled pump. So I don't know if it has any governor or if it's all the electric that adjusts the speed of the pump or how much it will pump. In every new cars there is an electric gas pedal in the cab, and that gives the signal to the electric controlled pump, or in that case the ECU that controls the injectors. But the injectors of this engine is just spring loaded and they will open at 200 bars. And with this they will open by command by the computer. So what are the benefits of having a common rail engine? This is the piston going up and down in both engines, 4 pistons, and in every stroke this gets just one single spray with diesel. But this car, it can get 3 or 4 maybe. I don't know exactly, but let's say 3. So it gets a pre-spray, a main spray, and a post spray. And that's just to get the right exhaust temperature, the exact burning, and to control the emissions. And I think they're using the pre-spray and the post-spray even more if you have a DPF filter on the exhaust, but this car doesn't have that. So the conventional diesels, they are more reliable and easier to fix if they break. I think that white one is going to run better than this, and I have still one injector to swap out on this. But anyway guys, I think I did succeed this time. As I said, I have been so disappointed many times, but now it's looking okay. So I will still go to a proper car shop so they can program my new injector to the computer, but it will still run as it is. I don't know why I should program it, because it's not changing anything on the engine and the feeling of the engine. Computer is thinking that I still have the old injector in its place. Yeah, so eventually I will visit a proper car shop where they can program it. So, but thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.